Welcome to the 420 podcast. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and we wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Today's deep dive is all about scoring the best deals on cannabis this holiday season. Think Black Friday, but for weed.
Yeah, we're going to explore how to become a savvy cannabis consumer, especially with Green Wednesday on the horizon. Yes, you heard that right. Green Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, is becoming a massive day for cannabis deals.
We've got a stack of articles here covering everything from consumer tips and retailer tactics to creative ideas for incorporating cannabis into your Thanksgiving celebrations.
That's right. We'll be looking at how to navigate the flood of promotions, compare prices effectively, and maybe even uncover some secrets about how retailers try to entice us to spend a little more than we planned.
Now, you might think, hey, I already know how to shop on Black Friday.
Yeah.
But the cannabis market has its own quirks.
Yeah. For example, you'll find deals on everything from flour and pre-rolls to edibles and concentrates. There's a whole world of cannabis products out there, and knowing what to look for can make a big difference.
One thing that really stood out to me is the importance of budgeting and planning ahead. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the sales and end up overspending.
Absolutely. It's essential to set a budget before you even start browsing. And remember, just because something is on sale doesn't necessarily mean it's a good deal. Always compare prices and consider your needs before making a purchase.
Here's where it gets really interesting. One of the articles mentioned a tactic some retailers use, inflating prices before a sale to make discounts seem more impressive.
Yes, that's a classic move.
Mhm.
A savvy consumer needs to do their research. Compare prices across different retailers, both online and in physical stores. Don't just jump on the first deal you see.
Right, and I learned about this awesome browser extension called Camel. It actually tracks the price history of a product, so you can see if that amazing deal is really all it's cracked up to be.
That's a great tool. Speaking of tools, several articles mention the power of online shopping for cannabis.
Oh, you mean like finding better deals or a wider selection online?
Exactly. Online retailers often have more flexibility with pricing and can offer deeper discounts than brick-and-mortar stores. Plus, you can compare prices from multiple retailers without leaving your couch.
So convenience and potentially better deals. What's the catch?
Well, you might miss out on that personalized experience you get in a dispensary. Sometimes it's helpful to chat with a bud tender and get their recommendations.
True. There's definitely value in that human connection and expertise. But let's be real, sometimes we just want to score that sweet deal from the comfort of our pajamas.
That's understandable. And remember, Black Friday is just the start of the holiday sale season. Deals often continue through Cyber Monday and beyond.
So it pays to be patient and keep an eye out for those extended deals. We've covered some valuable ground here on how to be a savvy cannabis consumer. But what about the retailers themselves? What are some of their tactics, and how can we avoid falling into their traps?
One common tactic is the loss leader strategy. They'll offer a really low price on a popular item, even taking a loss on it, to lure you in.
Ah, like that $5 gram of flour that seems too good to be true.
Exactly. Once you're in the store or on their website, you're more likely to browse and buy other things even if they're not on sale. They're counting on you getting caught up in the excitement and making impulse purchases.
So the key takeaway here is to have a plan and stick to it. Don't let those tempting deals derail your budget.
Precisely. And speaking of budget, we'll be back after a short break to dive into another key strategy for maximizing your savings: bulk buying and stacking discounts.
Welcome back to our deep dive into scoring the best cannabis deals this holiday season.
We were just talking about retailer tactics and how to avoid overspending.
Right, so how can we make the most of our budget and really maximize those savings?
Well, one strategy that comes up a lot in our sources is bulk buying.
Bulk buying. You mean stocking up on my favorite strains like a squirrel preparing for winter?
Exactly. Think of it that way. Many retailers offer significant discounts when you buy in larger quantities. It's a great way to save money on products, you'll use regularly.
That makes sense, especially if you're planning on incorporating cannabis into those Thanksgiving celebrations.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And speaking of maximizing savings, let's talk about stacking discounts.
Stacking discounts. Now that sounds intriguing.
It's all about combining different types of deals to get the absolute lowest price possible. Think coupons, loyalty rewards programs, credit card cashback offers, you name it.
So it's like a strategic layering of savings. I like it.
For instance, many dispensaries have loyalty programs that give you points for every purchase. You can often redeem those points for discounts on future purchases. If you combine that with a manufacturer coupon and a credit card that offers cash back at dispensaries, you're really maximizing your savings.
Wow. It's like a treasure hunt for deals.
Yeah.
It's important to note that not all dispensaries offer these types of stacking opportunities, so it's worth doing your research and comparing what different retailers offer.
You're absolutely right. Some dispensaries even have special stacking days where they allow you to combine multiple discounts. It's worth checking their websites or social media pages for announcements.
Okay, so we've covered budgeting research, bulk buying, and stacking discounts. We're practically experts at this point.
Almost. But we can't forget about the most important part of all this, incorporating cannabis into your Thanksgiving celebrations.
Right. We've been teasing this all along, and I'm ready to dive into some delicious cannabis-infused recipes.
Before we get to the recipes, let's talk about decarboxylation. It's a crucial step in preparing cannabis for cooking.
Decarboxylation. That sounds pretty technical. Break it down for me.
It's actually quite simple. Decarboxylation or decarbing is the process of heating cannabis to activate its psychoactive compounds like THC and CBD.
So if I'm using cannabis in a recipe, I need to decarb it first.
Absolutely. If you don't decarb it, you won't experience the full effects of the cannabis.
What's fascinating to me is that our sources mention different methods for decarboxylation, each with its own advantages and disadvantages.
Exactly. The most common method is using an oven, but some people prefer using a sous vide machine or even a slow cooker.
A slow cooker. Now that's a method I haven't heard of before.
It's becoming increasingly popular because it allows for more precise temperature control and minimizes the risk of burning the cannabis.
Oh, I can see how that would be important.
Eh,
We don't want any burnt cannabis flavor ruining our Thanksgiving dishes.
Right. And once you've decarbed your cannabis, you can use it to make all sorts of delicious infusions like canna butter or cannabis-infused oil.
Canna butter is a classic. It's incredibly versatile and can be used in so many recipes.
You can use it in everything from mashed potatoes and gravy to cookies and brownies. The possibilities are truly endless.
Okay, now you're making me hungry. Let's get into some specific Thanksgiving recipes that caught my eye.
One that stood out to me was a cannabis-infused turkey marinade. It's a great way to add a subtle cannabis flavor to your Thanksgiving centerpiece.
I love that idea. It's like a secret ingredient that elevates the entire meal.
And don't forget about the sides. You can make cannabis-infused mashed potatoes, stuffing cranberry sauce, even green bean casserole.
Hold on. Cannabis-infused green bean casserole. Now that's something I need to try.
It might sound unconventional, but it's actually quite delicious. The earthy notes of the cannabis complement the creamy, savory flavors of the casserole surprisingly well.
Okay, you've officially convinced me I'm adding that to my Thanksgiving menu.
Excellent. But before you get too carried away with all these delicious infusions, we need to talk about something very important. Dosage control.
Right. Safety first, especially when we're dealing with edibles.
When you're cooking with cannabis, it's crucial to start with low doses and gradually increase as needed.
Especially when you're serving guests who might have different tolerances.
Exactly. And remember, the effects of edibles can take some time to kick in, so it's important to be patient and not overconsume.
Great advice. We want everyone to have a safe and enjoyable Thanksgiving experience.
Cannabis can help us slow down, be more present, and truly savor the moment.
I love that perspective. It's not just about getting high. It's about using cannabis intentionally to enhance the overall experience.
Precisely. It's about finding the right strain and dosage to create the desired mood and complement the occasion.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling inspired to create a truly unique and memorable Thanksgiving celebration. One that blends tradition with a modern twist and allows me to connect with my loved ones on a deeper level.
That's wonderful. Remember, whether you're a seasoned cannabis enthusiast or just curious about exploring this world, the key is to approach it with knowledge, responsibility, and an open mind.
And remember, as always, prioritize safety and consume responsibly. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.